The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate it all. The dust of the Sahel is settling, but not in the way that the colonial architect planned it. We are on the 11th of a conflict that has redefined the power dynamic in West Africa. For decades, the narrative was that Mali was a fallen state, incapable of securing its own borders. But today, the narrative is being incinerated by the Malian armed forces, FAMA, and their strategic partners. In cities like Kati, Bakoko, and Gao, the silence of fear has been replaced by the hum of returning life. We are seeing things come back to normal. But the real story isn't just about the civilian activities resuming. It's about the surgical precision of an offensive that is targeting the very root of the destabilization. Please, if you are new here, this is the latest Urgent One and you have to subscribe to become a member of this community. Look at the severe Mopti assault. This wasn't just a skirmish. It was the recovering of a GNIM T-Hornet nest. Reconnaissance units from the African Corps, working alongside the Malian intelligence, identified a major militant stronghold. The response was immediate. Aviation strikes that didn't just disrupt, but completely obliterated the target. Provisional tools report 46 T groups neutralized in a single operation. But here is the element that mainstream ignores: the logistics of the defense. While the Western media focuses on the course of the war, they fail to mention the Russian African Corps ambulance plans evacuating wounded FAMA soldiers directly from the contact line. This is a level of tactical support the Bakken mission never provided. It is a partnership of results, not empty rhetoric. The system has a blueprint for Mali, and it involves dividing the nation into manufactured emirates. This is why Mopti has become such a flashpoint. It is a geopolitical center, the pivot point France and its proxies hope to use to fracture the country. They are using the same tactics we saw in Libya, Iraq, and Afghanistan. In fact, intelligence sources have flagged the presence of a man with a history of being present just before nations are dismantled, who is currently in Mali under the guise of humanitarian work. Mali is no longer closing its eyes. The surveillance is now inward as much as it's outward. The most spectacular development, however, didn't happen in the desert. It happened in Modibo Keita International Airport. In a high-stakes security operation, FAMA intercepted over 100 mercenaries attempting to flee the country. These individuals weren't just travelers. They were found with detailed map of the Malian military bases, firearms, and ammunition. This is the link to the April 25th, 2026 attack. These weren't lone wolf T groups. They were mastermind directing operations remotely from offices in Bamako. The state message is now clear: no crossing points, no airports, no diplomatic cover will protect those who seek to destabilize the nation. The Pan-African betrayal is also visible at the borders. FAMA recently intercepted 3 trucks crossing the Ivory Coast filled with hundreds of kilograms of explosive components designed for insurgents near Doura. This is the frontline truth. The war inside Mali is being fed by neighbors who allow their territory to be used as a logistic pipeline for destruction. And this has been the problem of the African, because we are the ones they always use to fight our own progress. 2 of these trucks were vaporized by airstrikes, and a third was neutralized near Bandaton Bagulda. Finally, we must address the ideological fraud. There is a movement funded by external interests and given refuge by regional neighbors that claims a territory called Azawad. But history, real history, not the manufactured version, shows there has never been a kingdom, a chieftaincy, or an empire of Azawad. It is a political fabrication used by ultra-minority group to claim land that belongs to all ethnic groups of Mali. The Sogai, the Bozu, the Fulani, and Ambara, those claiming to liberate Kidal, are currently being filmed looting buildings. And the farmer of the offensive is ensuring that not a single centimeter of national territory remains in the hands of those who sell their loyalty to the highest foreign bidder. People claiming to have another kingdom in Mali, which we have never heard of, not in history. The transition is no longer on the defense. From Burkina Faso, reclaiming its territory to Niger's intensifying operation that have detected 150 enemy fighters in recent days. The alliance of the Sahel states is proving that sovereignty is not given, it is taken. And always, these are leaders who make it clear to us that sovereignty, we need to fight for it. The struggle continues, but the marks of the insurgencies has fallen. It is a war of maps, mercenaries, and manufactured identities. And for the first time in 60 years, the people of Mali are the ones holding the pen to write the end of the story. And we hope that at the end of the day, it will be all Africans that will hold the pen to write our own story. We always allow people to write our story for us. And we go to any length to please other people. We have been brainwashed to the point that, I don't know, like, sometimes it breaks my heart to see the things we do to ourselves just in the name of pleasing other people who are fighting for the betterment of themselves. The fight is on. Unity is all that we need. We need to unite as Africans. We are seeing the true Pan-Africans now. We read histories, but today the same thing is happening in our eyes. And we cannot find these same leaders who preach Pan-Africanism to us. And one day, Africa will be free. And history will judge all these leaders. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Mali.